Hello, welcome to this update for Oceania. So let's see what's happening. The main thing happening right now are these fronts, spots of New Zealand, still some heavy rain and some snow in the South Island, and also we have some rain in northern New Zealand, and this area of heavy rain just just east of Vanuatu. There will leave some very heavy rains across Fiji throughout Friday, May 9th, and still by May 10th across spots of Fiji and Samoa. Still have some showers and storms around Samoa too. And the satellite shows this big area of moisture array affecting Fiji, some heavier storms in Samoa and other spots. We have this area near southern Papua New Guinea with a lot of storms as well, and this actually and invest to monitor for a potential tropical depression or tropical storm just north of Australia. It's very weak. You'll probably not become anything, but better watch because some models do have something forming. So there's in Australia, now it's drier there because of this big area of high pressure over southern Australia. So let's see what might happen starting spots of the Pacific. We have throughout May 9th shows some heavy rain Fiji and Samoa still shows some very heavy showers and storm spots of Fiji, and then this goes May 10th still in Samoa, some storms in Fiji, and then they show around Tonga throughout those days as well, but especially by Sunday and Monday, May 11th and May 12th. So this goes potentially later by May 13th is in the Cook Islands shows that heavy rain going, and maybe still later around southernmost French Polynesia and into the South Pacific, and leaves a cold front later on. But that's far out. We'll keep watching, but be careful that those spots of Vanuatu, Fiji, Samoa. There's the GFS shows those storms around Samoa and Fiji throughout Friday into Saturday as well, and then somewhere in Tonga and the Cook Islands, especially later next week in the Cook Islands and maybe Nauru, southern French Polynesia. So be careful. There's now the icon shows a lot of storms too scared across Samoa, Fiji, some in Tonga, this goes, and shows especially Fiji, Samoa until Sunday, and then by Monday the 12th, especially Tuesday the 13th in the Cook Islands might get heavy, some spots of French Polynesia and Mataura and it goes there. So be careful in those areas. There's the rain accumulation in Fiji, and just until Saturday, already shows some spots to 170 millimeters, some other spots to 124, 122. So be careful in those areas. This is possible, but it varies depending on the model. The GFS is only 243 just in the next day or so in northern Fiji. So be careful in those areas. Now 5 days until next Tuesday does show spots of Fiji even to 258 millimeters, 256, more spots to 255, 136. So please be careful throughout these next 5 days. There'll be some very heavy rain, and Vanuatu will be better. Shows like some 13 millimeters, 19 to 23 millimeters. There will be some heavier showers, but generally less than Fiji. So Samoa, especially American Samoa, showing more than 150 millimeters, even to 171, spots to 90 millimeters, 113. So please be careful in Samoa and American Samoa. These islands between like Asia, Alo, Matautu, more than 200 spots of Asia, Alo, so be careful. Those areas. Northern Tonga shows more, especially Alofi, but shows central Tonga, some storms too, and later in the Cook Islands, especially central northern Cook Islands, but there'll be heavy storms everywhere. There it shows Mataura, more than 100 millimeters as well, and these small atolls further south in the Pacific. so please be careful. There's the GFS next 5 days, and it has like all the way to 269 millimeters in the northern part of the bigger island of Fiji. It does have 217 some other spots of Fiji. Further south a little bit less, but does have a lot there in Fiji, so be careful. It does have in Matautu more than 150. In Samoa has 118 to 124 and 114 American Samoa. So please be careful. Northern Cook Islands that more than 100 as well, and some passing showers, storms for French Polynesia. So please be careful. There's the icon, shows a lot in Fiji as well, but the icon's like just to 20 millimeters in Fiji. It even has just like 11 millimeters in a spot or two. The icon's more in the ocean, like the smaller islands in Fiji, and the icon has really more in Samoa, especially in American Samoa, to 139, 154. So be careful. It's Matau, Tonga, more than 150. So please stay safe. Those areas. There's the access. Let's see if it shows something for Fiji. So it does show even to 268 in the easternmost portion, even to 300 in the easternmost tip, and more spots central Fiji to 160 more spots. So stay safe in those areas. There's also the Samoa Islands, a lot of tropical moisture still. Does show to 93 millimeters, some spots to 125 millimeters, the the Samoa Islands. So please be careful in the Samoa Islands. There's this area just south of the Samoa Islands in the ocean that might get some very rough weather. There's the icon, has near some islands of Saman and Tagula, more than 170 millimeters. The GFS is kind of spread out in a line, but there's the axis that has all the way to 560 millimeters in the ocean. This is just out in the ocean, but just so you know, there'll be a good disturbance there. And then it shows more spots, some islands there, more than 100 millimeters, and many spots of the Samoa Islands, more than 100 millimeters. So please stay safe in those areas. And shows Papua New Guinea, those showers and storms as well, more than 120, 96 millimeters. There's this area in the middle of the ocean, more than 900 millimeters from that tropical disturbance. Good thing this will stay in the ocean, but some northernmost parts of the Northern Territory might get even close to 83 millimeters, even to 90 to 100 millimeters. So please be careful. So there's like the GFS, it's more in the ocean, it has more over northern Queensland as well, and there's the icon, has just northernmost tip of Queensland, the rest it has like dry, and some the Northern Territory, and the European has some northernmost Queensland. So be careful those areas. It has some small islands on the Indian Ocean, still a lot of moisture spots the Indian Ocean, and yeah, but the Cocos Islands, just some passing showers with thunderstorms, nothing that crazy. But most of Australia is kind of dry next 5 days because of this high pressure. Just a shower to southwestern Australia, and the east coast is still wet. It will still be wet. Spots of eastern New South Wales into Queensland, especially spots of northern Queensland shows even to 100 millimeters. The European, the GFS is like some 41 millimeters. The icon just 40, and there's the axis to like some 82 millimeters there in those spots, not central northern Queensland, just south of Cairns. So be careful those areas possibly as well. And long range does show still Central Australia dry next 12 days, but still more rain on the east coast next 12 days. But that's far out, so be aware. There's New Zealand, shows this front now, some storms and snow southern New Zealand, and still throughout Friday more rain northern New Zealand and some storms. So be careful, this is already happening, and the front goes away there and will pass by Waitangi, choose more rain. So still by Saturday some rain in the South Island, and then this goes in potential that the next front by May 14th in the South Island, potentially after May 17th in the north again, but we'll keep watching. There's like the accumulation 5 days does show spots of the North Island even to 113 meters, more spots to 102, and like to 56, 37 meters spots of the North Island, and still in the South Island, in the southernmost parts, to 94 to 60 meters. So be careful, especially some areas of the North Island. The GFS does have some 62 to like 70 meters, 68. The icons essential spots there to 106, and yeah, the axis does have more than 100 meters, like 145. This northeastern areas of the North Island, so be careful those areas and stay safe. Yeah, there's still wind because of this front, still quite windy. Central southern central part of the southern island, even northern part, those mountains, some higher gust spots the northern island too. And the ocean is pretty windy in terms of waves too, so be aware. This goes Friday, shows throughout Friday afternoon, northern islands, slightly higher gusts, especially interior spots and near the ocean. So this goes does have the northeastern part, some higher gusts Friday night, and then into Waitani Saturday morning, Friday to Saturday morning. This goes, so be careful. But it does show even to 90 km per gust in a few spots, so stay safe. There's the GFS, some stronger winds too, but the GFS not so excited. The Icon's the most excited model. It shows even to 105 in the mountains of the South Island. This goes, it has some very strong gusts in the North Island, close to 100 as well, and later in Waitani. So stay safe in those areas. There's this big area of high pressure in the southern Pacific, and basically strong winds in the disturbances going around it. So still gustier conditions in Tonga, southern Fiji. Will likely have some higher waves in a few spots. So be aware too. This goes Friday. Uh, more wind, that's low pressure further south, but also some higher gusts spotted too in Fiji. So Saturday, still slightly higher just east of Fiji, and this stretch of the Coral Sea, the Tasmanian Sea. This goes still by next Monday, some strong winds east of Tonga as this goes away. So be careful. Those areas in the Coral Sea slightly stronger. This goes likely central northern Australia, slightly higher gusts in a few spots. Not high, but just windy, kind of windy. Shows spots on the east coast and just south of Tasmania. This goes shows some higher gusts in the Coral Sea still until Saturday, Sunday, and you see that small thing rotating. Might be a tropical storm to watch. So this goes, and not much action later in Australia. Just some winds in the west, like, but nothing crazy into next week. So be aware those areas. The temperatures are still already cold. Southern Australia, I saw some images of snow in Tasmania last few days, so be aware. It does show spots in New South Wales already to 0 degrees to -1, in the mountains, South Australia to 2 degrees already during the night. So this goes, and Thursday, Friday does show warmer on the west still, to like 36 degrees in spots of the west. But this goes, still shows, especially South Australia, down to 3 degrees, and 2 degrees southern New South Wales and Victoria. So Friday, this goes. Saturday, slightly warmer across Queensland, spots of the north, but still kind of chilly. Sunday morning, New Zealand, it's already in the mountains to -2, -3. This goes slightly colder some other spots, but in the afternoon does get to 17 degrees in New Zealand, to 19 the far north, and does show especially like Northern Territory by Sunday afternoon, even to 35 degrees, spots of Western Australia, and by Monday morning, does show those negative temperatures carried in New Zealand still, some 0 degrees to -2. This goes, shifts a little, some -1, -2, and especially like 0, between 0 -1. Then this goes, still warmer spots of Australia, Monday afternoon, especially northern Western Australia. But like Tuesday morning, still colder spots of the south. So, and this continues there. So this goes likely next week, colder southern New Zealand, Tuesday, Wednesday, and still warmer northwestern Australia. So be aware. And potential shows like this is May 15th, right? Somewhere like 0 to -1 spots New South Wales and Victoria again. So be careful those areas. And here for the tropics, does show the European model, the tropical depression probabilities, even to like 100% spots of the sea near Indonesia, Northern Australia. This goes, it even has like a 60% south of the Samoa Islands, but I don't think that will form. So let's see tropical storms. Let's see, it has a 30% chance of a tropical storm north of Australia. By Sunday, it increases to 60% chance of tropical storm northern Australia. That area grows and then it dissipates, but it does have a small 20%, like 10 to 20%, just south of the Samoa Islands next week. So be aware, those areas. There's the GFS does get a low pressure, 998, like probably a weak tropical depression, and then this goes, it spins there, leaves some rain bands in the Northern Territory, but it doesn't make landfall or anything. It just stays there in the ocean. So there's the European show like it spins there, and it goes even to 992 tropical storm. So the European is actually stronger than the GFS. It goes and just dissipates there as well. There's the icon show like it tries to spin, but then it goes too close to the equator and gives up. But the icon does try to spin south of the Samoa Islands, but that's too weak. Like 1,005 millibars is better than nothing. So be aware. There's the Canadian model 0Z, shows like that area of low pressure tries to form a tropical storm like 993 just south of Indonesia, and then it just dissipates there. But if you can notice, the Canadian model is bursting a gigantic cyclone in the northern Coral Sea, and I don't think that's really realistic. But just watching, better watch. But I don't think that will happen. But be careful in those areas. There's the accumulation from the Canadian model to the precipitation. So until next Tuesday, they're showing Fiji close to 200 in those yellows. That yellow is more than 200, so shows spots of Samoa close to 100 and more spots in the Samoa Islands, Papua New Guinea. So stay safe, and southern Western Guinea, because this cyclone, in my opinion, it will linger closer to Indonesia than to Australia. So you likely have some heavy rains. So be careful with flooding spots of eastern Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. So stay safe. And still, if you're wondering about Asia, still some heavy rains, just like tropical rains throughout central Indonesia, even southern Java, spots of Sulawesi, and the rest of Asia is honestly very crazy. Southern China, Taiwan, northeastern India, still very big storms. So we'll probably make a video for Asia very soon. So be careful in those areas, and yeah, stay safe. Let's just see if there's something here. There's this fog probability map. So because it's already colder in the morning, down below might be some instances of fog. So be aware. Or even the coldest mountains, even some frost. So be aware and stay safe.